All the objects of consciousness form the universe. What is beyond both, supporting both, is the supreme state, a state of utter stillness and silence. Whoever goes there disappears. Ultimately, all teachings are trying to get us towards that supreme state, that inner stillness, silence. But in order to get there, we come across these different terms like awareness, consciousness, self, Brahman, absolute. So when these terms are being used in different contexts, it might confuse the seeker or the person who's on the journey towards liberation. And even for me, this is the question that I get asked a lot. So what is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Because I've seen you use this in different kinds of settings, and you may have also heard phrases like you are the awareness, you are consciousness, or you are the witness. But which one is it really? Right? This can really be confusing. If you're a witness, that's a different thing than awareness. And even consciousness and awareness are used interchangeably in a lot of different teachings, and one book might use the word awareness while other book might completely use a different term like the self, atma, or even consciousness. So in order to clarify this, I wanted to use teachings from Nisargadatta Maharaj, because it is his teachings which really clarify all these concepts for me personally. So I wanted to share it with you too, so you can get a better understanding while you're on this path. And in order to understand this, you have to realize that there are 4 different layers of the self, or levels of the self. To be honest, it's just for the mind to understand the conceptual way. In fact, there's only one reality, which we're going to talk about towards the end. But once you understand these 4 layers, it will be very easy for you to differentiate between all these different terms, including awareness and consciousness. So let's begin. So in the first level, there is the person. The person is the body, mind, story, everything that has a name and a form. When we think of ourselves as the person with such and such name, with such and such history, it is all in this first level, or the layer. And we also have this separate sense of self where we are separating ourselves from the world, thinking that the world exists outside of me. So just to quote Nisargadatta Maharaj, here he says, the person is a very small thing. Actually, it is a composite. It cannot be said to exist by itself, but you think you are the person. So this is who we believe ourselves to be from this separate individualistic point of view. While being this person, we are also suffering. We are carrying all the burdens from the past. All the expectations of the future are also troubling us. And that's why we are in a constant state of push and pull, tug of war, right? We're never actually still. So this is the first level. And then there comes a time when we get introduced to maybe new teaching, or maybe we have got a glimpse of our own true nature. Then we start our journey of self-discovery, of self-realization, and then we get to the next level, which is the level of consciousness. Now I'm defining this from the point of view of Maharaj, so it might be a little bit different than what you have heard in other non-duality teachings. So just bear with me, because at the end it's all going to come together to really make sense of everything that you've learned so far, maybe even in other teachings as well. So consciousness is the sense of being, or the sense of I am. It is not the personality, but just existence itself. Before, you had this I am this, like your name, for example. I am a software developer, like your profession. But in consciousness, there's simply that sense of I am, nothing else. We're discarding everything else that comes after that. Consciousness is the factor that makes everything around us possible. This is how we take the objective reality in and understand it. And similarly, Maharaj says here The sense I am is the first to appear and the last to go. It is the beginning and end of all experience. So once the definitions and the attachments from the person comes and joins with the I am, then you get taken over by the person itself. But as long as you're staying detached from that, you are being the consciousness, you are resting as the pure consciousness. So basically, to sum up consciousness, what it feels like is the sense of me existing. I exist. It is there prior to your name. If I ask you, do you exist? Right now, you'd probably say yes. And that feeling itself is consciousness. It exists before identity. It is just presence. But Maharaj said something radical, which you'll see. What he said was consciousness comes and goes. It is present in waking, but it is absent in deep sleep. So it cannot be the ultimate. You may have heard the word consciousness being used as the ultimate, but by this definition, of which Maharaj is trying to make us understand, consciousness is not the absolute. It is not the ultimate, but it is simply like the stepping stone to get you towards the absolute. And also, by the way, I have a free course out called The Path to Direct Realization, which is a step-by-step guide to understanding your true inner nature. And if you are interested in enrolling in that, the link for that is in the description box below. And now on the next level, there is the witness. So witness is more like the function inside of consciousness, but it is the highermost function. So in Maharaj's own word, he says here, the witness is the one who says I am. The person says I am this or that, but the witness is the silent observer of the this and that. So just to make it clear, the witness is not separate from the consciousness. It is still a part of the consciousness, but it is a higher functioning of the consciousness where we are separating the object and the subject. So now as the witness, we are still being the consciousness, but we are separating all the activities of the person and seeing them from a higher point of view. So when the practice of witnessing deepens, thoughts are seen, emotions are seen, and the body is seen as well. So when the witnessing develops, you can start noticing everything that is happening within you, but you don't get affected by whatever worries or internal conflicts or anxiety, sadness, or even relationship issues. No matter what comes, you won't get affected by these factors because you are staying apart from all of these, simply witnessing. So while consciousness encompasses everything that is taking place within itself, like the seeing, hearing, talking, all the sensing by different sense organs, all the perceptions, all the process of cognizing, understanding, witnessing is simply staying there and observing things that are happening in a distance. Okay, so consciousness is everything that encompasses that, including the witnessing as well as all the other functions that are going on in the personal level. But the witness still requires something to be witnessed and someone witnessing, right? So the duality is still there. We're still not at the level of non-duality. Some people just stop here thinking that, okay, this is it. Maybe I have achieved that sense of non-duality, but that is not quite right, because witnessing itself is practicing duality, but from this higher perspective, right? But we are transcending that as well. Now we reach the final level, which is the awareness itself. So the awareness, it is described as the absolute. Awareness exists before even consciousness appears. Awareness is not observing, it's not experiencing, it's not thinking, it is not present as a state. So what is awareness? Awareness is primordial. It is the original state. It is beginningless, endless, uncaused. Consciousness is on contact, a reflection against a surface a state of duality. So there's another saying too, which I wanted to introduce here. He says here, in the absolute, there is no one who is aware. Awareness is undivided, effortless, and silent. It is the ground of all existence. Okay, so awareness is the fundamental reality in which existence itself becomes possible. So this is the thing that I think most people and a lot of great sages from the past have the most difficulty describing. In books like Ashtavakra Gita and even Mandukya Upanishad, they use a lot of negations to point us there, because as soon as we define this with a phrase, it gets us out of there, because it is already creating like this conceptual image or some kind of concept to help us understand that. But the truth of that is it can't be understood by our cognizing mind, because it is the thing that itself created the mind. In order to describe it, which is a very hard thing to do, what you could think of it as is the silent, self-existing presence that does not begin with experience. It allows every experience to appear. It does not know things the way consciousness knows objects, but rather it is the undeniable fact of being from which the knowing arises. I wanted to repeat this last part out to you again. It is the undeniable fact of being from which the knowing arises. Before perception, before thought, before the feeling of being someone, awareness already is. It does not observe the world. It is the condition that allows observation to happen. It does not change when experiences change, because all change unfolds within it. Awareness is existence knowing itself without division. It is whole, effortless, and complete. Just to make it clear, you can think of it as awareness as the sun itself, the witness, sunlight, recognizing it is not the object it shines upon, and consciousness is the sunlight itself, illuminating everything, and the person is objects illuminated by sunlight, believing the light belongs to them. So only as the awareness you can feel the non-dual presence. In all the other levels of the self, of the person, consciousness, and even witness, there's still dualism, where there is a difference between subject and the object. But when we are living in this non-dual state of awareness, all the separation dissolves, because we recognize ourselves as the power which gives rise to all existence. So to end this, I have this beautiful quote by Maharaj, where he says, "When the I am myself goes, the I am all comes. When the I am all goes, I am comes. When even I am goes, reality alone is." And that is awareness. The sense I am is the consciousness, and being in the sense I am while observing all the different activities of the mind and the body, we are being in the state of witness. But when we also let all that go and reside in the silence, simply abiding as the absolute, as the self, that is the state of awareness. And also don't forget to join our free course, The Path to Direct Realization, which you can find in the description box below. And also we have a free Facebook community if you're interested in connecting with other like-minded individuals as yourself. And with that, I want to wish you all the very best. Goodbye and namaste.